Hey everyone, I'm going to take a minute here to show you how to actually submit your homework on Canvas. So when you click into your homework, you might notice that your submission has to be a .py, .pyw, or .pyi file, which means that it can be run in idle or trinkets. You can't submit a screenshot or a direct text block or anything like that. So let's say that you are using Trinkets. This is the online editor that's linked in the syllabus. So you write your first program, and we're just going to go ahead and print hello world. And I want to now download this and submit it. So you have a few options up here. I'll run it just to make sure it works. But what I want to look at is this drop down arrow here. When I click it, you'll see I have a bunch of options: email, link, embed, and download. I want to click download. And when I do that, you'll see at the bottom of the screen, you should see this appear in your web browser, both on Mac and PC, a Trinket download.zip folder file. So you can go ahead and show in Finder if you're on a Mac, you can show in Windows Explorer if you're on a Windows computer, or you can just go ahead and click it. Now, I'm going to come over here and I want to actually look at this zip file. What it downloads is actually a .zip file. So this is an archived file, so I need to actually open up the file. Once I download this, if I try to submit this to Canvas, it will not work, okay? And some of you may have tried this. So if I try to actually click this .zip file and click open, it's going to tell me this file type is not allowed. So what I need to do is actually open it. On a Mac computer, all you have to do is double click it, and it will automatically open up the folder. It may give you an individual file like this. It might give you a folder with the file in it. Either way is fine. On a Windows computer, you're going to need to actually right-click and then extract the files, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. So once you've done this, you should see your .py file, or like I said, you might see a folder, and inside it you'll see your .py file. Once you have this, you can actually click back into Canvas, click Choose File, and then actually choose the .py file. And then when you do, you'll see it will allow you to submit it. You click Submit, and then you are done. Let's see what that looks like on Windows really quick. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Windows real quick. So if I come over here, I am in the in Canvas over here, and I've got the same program, my first program, my Hello World program. And just as a note, this is not the actual homework. This is not what you should submit. You should do the actual homework, obviously, which is these 4 exercises. I'm just using this as an example. All right. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come over here and we're going to click download. And you'll see again, it's going to download a zip file. So I can either show in folder, clicking this little arrow, or I can just go ahead and click it to open it. And you'll see I have my .py file, so that's all fine and dandy. I can even double click it and open it. Very cool. But the problem is right now it is in a compressed file. It's in a zip folder. Okay. And again, if I were to try to submit this on Canvas, I can't actually click into this folder. And it's just going to give me an error and say, hey, file types that are accepted are .py, .pyi, and .pyw. This is a .zip folder. So I need to fix that. So I'm going to come over here, and this is a little bit different from Mac. I can't just double click into it to open it. I'll be able to see my file, sure, but in order to actually decompress this folder, as it were, or unzip it, I need to right click and choose extract all. And I can also actually, once I click on this, you'll see there's a button that pops up here as well. So I can do either one of those things. When I click that, it is going to ask me where I want to extract it to. So in other words, where do I want to put the stuff that's in the folder? I'm just going to leave it in my downloads for now, but you can actually put it anywhere you want. You could put it on your downloads or on your desktop, wherever you like. Okay. And I'll leave this checked, which means it's going to open up the files once I actually do this. Otherwise, you just have to click into them yourself. I'm going to hit extract, and you'll see it open this up for me. Now, this looks like the same way it did before, but if I take a look here, I have now this .zip folder, but I also have a regular file folder, and that's what it extracted. Okay. So when I come back to Canvas, oops, I'm going to go to choose file, and I'm going to find the folder. All right, remember, we don't want the compressed or zip folder because we can't actually click into that. But if we double click on this one, we can actually go into it and choose our .py file. Click open, and then we are done. We just hit submit. Okay, so if you choose to use idle instead of trinkets, I'm just going to show you really quickly how to create and save files in idle. We will go over idle in a little bit more detail in class, but for now, the assumption is that if you are using it, then you either know or have figured out how to use it. So I'm just going to show you how to save files and then submit them in Canvas. So when you open up idle, you will see a command line interpreter, and that's all fine and dandy. We can, use this just to run simple commands and stuff like that. But we want to do our homework. We want to create a new file. So file, new file. And I'm going to write the same program here. It's just going to say hello world. Whoops. And I'm going to go ahead and save it. You can do save or save as, doesn't matter. And when I do this, I am going to choose where I want to save it to. I'm just going to save it into programs here. I'm going to call it my first program 3. So I've already got a first one and a second one. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just run this really quickly. But the assumption is if you're using idle, you probably already know how to run this. But I could do run module, and it will actually run my program. We'll talk more about this in class, or you can watch tutorials and stuff. But the point here is, how do we then submit this to Canvas? So to get this onto Canvas, I am going to come over to homework, and I'm going to go ahead and choose file. And the nice thing is I don't need to convert anything or change anything or do anything special. I am just going to go ahead and go to my folder and then my file. I'm going to find my file exactly where I just saved it. So I'm going to find my first program 3.py. I'm going to click open, and I don't have to change anything again, and I just click submit. And we're done. As always, you can email me if you have any questions or message me on Canvas, and I look forward to seeing you soon.